We are back now with more of our continuing coverage of Hurricane Milton, the powerful storm that is wreaking havoc this morning in Florida. Milton made landfall at around 8:30 last night as a Category 3 hurricane near Siesta Key, that's just outside of Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. The storm caused widespread flooding and took out power to millions of people across the state. Coastal counties were hit the hardest. It also created this indelible image of the roof of Tropicana Field, home of baseball's Tampa Bay Rays. It was torn to shreds. Several reported tornadoes also touched down before Milton made landfall. FEMA says more than 70,000 people took refuge in government shelters overnight after evacuation orders were issued in about half the counties in the state. Let's turn now to NBC News senior national correspondent, News Now anchor Tom Llamas, who joins us from Sarasota, Florida, with the latest. Tom, good morning. So in a moment, we're going to ask you about what you experienced last night as the hurricane made landfall. We saw some of that at the top of the hour here. But first, just set the scene this morning. What are you seeing and hearing here?
Yeah, good morning, Joe. So right now, the sun is coming out. We're just getting a chance to assess the damage. Behind me here, you can see some broken, shattered glass from skyscrapers here in Sarasota, buildings and apartments, hotels where windows were blown out. You can see some of the damage here, and first responders come in, making sure they're clearing out the streets. They're asking that people stay inside right now, and for good reason. It's still really dangerous. There's a lot of debris on the street. You can see some of it here just behind me. This entire area, Joe, was covered in water yesterday. It was 4 to 5 feet. We're still waiting on the measurement here. A lot of the gauges were broken as the hurricane was hitting because it was so powerful. We were getting sustained winds of more than 100 miles per hour for several hours last night. The damage, though, from what we can see here in Sarasota where we are, again, we haven't ventured out too far because the sun is literally just coming out. It's too dangerous. It doesn't look like it's too widespread. Most of the very bad damage from Hurricane Milton seems to have come from those tornadoes that hit in different parts of the state. But again, we're just getting started. The storm hit just south of us, so that storm surge could be pretty bad just south of us. And then also, the mayor of Tampa has just said they're worried about the rivers flooding at high tide, which started at 7 a.m. Eastern. So that's something else we're watching right now as well.
Yeah, so much rain, a major concern. Tom, let's talk more about last night. You were reporting live on television, live here on News Now. You and your crew had to run for cover after what looked like a transformer blew. Let's watch a little of that, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Welcome back to our live coverage of Hurricane Milton. The situation here in Sarasota is starting to turn dire. At first, we had, okay, we're going to go. We got to go.
Clearly, you and your crew are okay. Talk more about what you experienced there last night, Tom.
Yeah, everyone was okay. So basically what happened was we were in the eye of the storm, Joe. And when the eye is over you, there's no rain, there's no wind. It's this incredible weather phenomenon. There could be chaos all around you, but in the eye, it's absolutely calm. And we were reporting about that, how things were looking and how people were coming out, unfortunately, when the eye was over us in Sarasota. And then quickly, I'd say within minutes, the backside of the hurricane, which is the most powerful part of the hurricane, started to hit us. And that's right when we came out of a commercial break. We started to report and anchor live. And that's when the transformer blew behind us. I couldn't tell. I saw a flash, but I wasn't sure if it was lightning or what it was. I could tell from the crew's reaction that it wasn't safe. We decided to move in. Luckily, we all got inside. It was fine. Nobody was hurt. And then we continued to broadcast from a safe concrete structure. You can actually see it behind us here, this white concrete structure, which is a garage, for about 4 to 5 hours after that, and it was fine. It held up. The storm surge came in, again, 4 to 5 feet is what I'm estimating, but it's still unclear. We don't have the gauges just yet on where it was. But we were so high up, we were able to report in a safe manner. And it was a very wild and violent night when it came to weather here in Sarasota.
We are grateful for you and your entire team, everyone in Florida who did a great job keeping us on the air last night and bringing us that coverage as it happened. You touched on this a moment ago. We're seeing fire crews, police crews out. What type of response are we seeing this morning in the hours since Milton made landfall? Do we have an idea if there's rescues going on or anything like that?
Yeah, so in different parts of the state, there were rescues ongoing. In Tampa, they had a major rescue where a tree fell on a home, and there was a family inside with children. They had to be pulled out. I think it was about 15 people. There was a lot of rescues ongoing overnight in places like St. Lucie County, where one of those tornadoes touched down, multiple tornadoes, I should mention. They were trying to assess the damage as we were live on the air speaking with the sheriff of St. Lucie County. Those tornadoes took a lot of people by surprise. They were preparing for a hurricane. there's always that tornado threat there. But the amount of tornadoes that hit Florida was the most tornado threats this state has ever experienced, more than 100. You had several tornadoes touching down, and those tornadoes, in some cases, they are more powerful than hurricanes, and there's really no chance to escape once you're in the line of that tornado. That's the most damage, and unfortunately, where a lot of the fatalities are coming right now. Mayors across the state, Joe, are asking people to stay inside. Still too dangerous to come out.
Yeah, those tornadoes are a destructive and deadly prelude to the hurricane. Tom, thank you so much for your reporting. Appreciate it. Continue to stay safe.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.